Hey everybody, welcome, and thank you for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. My name is Zach Brill. I'm here with Laura Heck. It's our birthday. Marriage Therapy Radio has been on the air for 7 years. I want to thank you all for your support, for keeping us going, for staying interested in what we have to say. It means a lot. We know that you're listening. We got an email from a gal who has some stuff going on in her relationship, and she wanted to know what we thought. So in this episode, we spend some time kind of batting that around. We, as always, we're trying to do two things at once. We're trying to address the issue inside of the listener question, but also talk about, kind of the broader things that are at stake when you have patterns and themes that are present in a relationship. So come along for the ride. We're, again, glad that you're here. This is a very cool conversation. Stick around.
What's going on?
Did you know it's our birthday?
I like the way that you say birthday, by the way, because it's birthday. It's our birthday. Today is our actual birthday.
This episode comes out like on our 7th anniversary, Marriage Therapy Radio's 7th anniversary.
Wow. It's like we've completed 7 years, or we just got to 7 years?
That's the same. We've been doing this for 7 years. Yeah.
Okay.
We're starting
got it.
next year. No, we've just completed this. We've just done 7 years. That's crazy. I don't know if that's a lot, but anyway, happy birthday, Laura.
Yeah, thank you. Happy birthday. I was thinking about this actually yesterday. Have we been with Jason for 7 years? Is this his?
From the beginning.
Jason, happy birthday to you, big guy. This is
well, actually, it's his actual birthday.
No.
Yeah. No, it is. This week is his actual birthday.
Oh.
So
he's turning 40, 42?
50.
Yeah, he's old balls.
Yeah. The first week of October is the most popular week for birthdays in the United States.
Wait, so if you go back 3 months, when is that? Is that Valentine's Day?
If you go back 3 months, that's the summer. No, they're New Year's babies.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
October?
Yeah,
New Year's
first week of October is New Year's babies. Rebecca's birthday is this week too, so we're it's a big thing. Like, I know so many people whose birthday is in the first week of October, but
Hold on, this is not making sense in my brain. Math and I are not getting along today.
Yeah.
Because if you are I guess my husband is born in November. No.
Listen.
Nope, don't mansplain. I'm going to figure this out. Because my husband was born in the middle of November, and his parents have
He's
always
probably a
said,
Super Bowl baby.
No, he is a Valentine's Day baby, because they fondly tell the story that Judy Heck wore a special nightie on Valentine's Day, and that's how Ryan was born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right on. No,
All right. Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to us.
It's been wonderful.
Happy birthday to Jason.
Yes.
Again, the thing about Jason is he's the only person on the planet who has listened to every single episode of Marriage Therapy Radio.
Well, that's not true. I bet that there are other people.
No chance.
Oh, no. They're 100%. I bet there is somebody out there that has listened to every episode.
I can't even imagine somebody who's listened to 340 episodes of Marriage Therapy Radio.
If you, in all of your integrity, have listened to every episode, I want for you to either email us or send us drop into our DMs, contact us. And
we will send you
know.
an autographed copy of Reconnect, a marriage therapy workbook.
Here's the thing. No, you will, because we're going to get like 400 people that are going to say that they have listened to every episode. I really
don't.
Don't tell him what we're going to send him, but we will send you something. I promise. You know what it needs to be?
Emoji.
It needs to be like a picture of the two of us, like how celebrities used to sign photographs.
Yeah, we need to get we need to get some glamour shots.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we should have done. Is we should get couple shots done where we're in both of us in our Canadian tuxedos and we're posing super awkwardly.
It would help if I had hair, though. That would make it a little bit better. Just so it could put a wave in it and put some gel in it and make it amazing.
Well, grow your hair out. You have a great head of hair. You just never grow it out.
I don't know.
It's true. You have all your hair.
Oh, I got this one spot back here that's going away.
Have I told you about Nutrafol? Just kidding.
Yeah, so it's our birthday, which is amazing. It's the first week of October.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to let's see.
I'm back from Mexico. It was great.
You're back from Mexico? When did you go to Mexico?
Well, we're talking about this in the future, but I'm going to Mexico on Saturday for a long weekend. And then
2 days from now?
We're going to, yeah. And then
we're going to Dallas next week to see Abby. She's in a play.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We're going to be down there for the when this episode comes out. But anyway.
As a parent that goes to college, are you going to like take her friends out for dinner or something?
Well, we would, except that she's in a play. So like every night that we're there, we're only seeing the show twice, but she's in a play every night. So there's just really not an opportunity for us to take her friends out for dinner. My guess is we'll take them out for breakfast.
Yeah.
Like a brunch one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do that. House. We'll go to the grocery store. We'll buy her a bunch of stuff. We'll like fill up her fridge. And
I love that.
I'm going
to see one of my... I used to come home and steal toilet paper from my mom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's also, let's see, for the next month, I'm going to be reminding you weekly that you need to vote. There's an election in this country on November the 5th. And I think it's important that we all participate. So
in the United States.
In this country, the United States. So with the small amount of influence that I have on the planet, I would like to encourage you to exercise your civil duty.
Will you also say spay your cats and dogs?
Spay your cats. Yeah. But who is
if
that?
you know, you know. It's Bob Barker,
right.
babe. Yeah. Bob Barker. And then I just watched the documentary of Ellen DeGeneres, and she used to say, be kind to one another.
Uh-huh.
All these famous taglines. And you know ours.
Yep. Thank you for making your relationship better today than it was yesterday.
Yeah. Make your relationship better today than it was yesterday.
Yeah. So it's October, and cool. I feel like, did I say this before? I feel like July is so long.
It's 31 whole days. It's true.
But I feel like it just like goes on forever. And then August is like a little shorter, and September is even shorter. Yeah. And now it's October. It's crazy.
Everything does kind of speed up between, for us at least in our profession, October through February is an absolute shit show for us.
Is it?
It's when, that's when couples start to get lit on fire.
I remember there's one more thing I wanted to say. This episode is coming out in the second week of October, which makes it officially last call for any of you who are interested in joining that relational life therapy boot camp that I am leading online, which is October 19th and 20th. And what I want to say to you about that is that if that's of interest to you, now's the time to register. Also, it's the one opportunity you have to get a cost shavings because it's run by the Relational Life Foundation, and they are in the practice of making it available to folks who maybe don't have a lot of funding available. So you can go to marriagetherapyradio.com and find all the information about that. And if you're interested just in the boot camp itself, we did an episode a couple weeks ago with my colleague and friend Julie Rudiger, kind of explaining how the boot camp works. But if that's something that you want to do, this is the moment to go ahead and lock down your registration. And Flora, I think it'd be cool if you came. I'm
literally doing it right now. I'm going onto our website and I'm clicking on it, and it's 19th and 20th online. I'm coming. I don't have anything happening. I was going to go down to Las Vegas. It's happening.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you for a discount because I think that
I'm not in control. I have no influence over the pricing because it's not run by me. It's run by the foundation. So,
okay. I'm looking at it right now, though. It looks like to do it online on the 19th and 20th, it's $550 for an individual. And if you sign up as a couple, it's $525 per person for the couple. But
if you include a little note that says, I'm kind of broke and I don't know if I can afford it, the foundation may be able to help you with some savings.
That's super cool. Oh, yeah. It says apply here for a sliding scale rate. So that's fantastic.
That's the one I'm talking about.
I would love to come to this. I have the weekend free. I might do this and be on my bike the entire time, my indoor trainer. You think that'd be possible?
I don't know, man. It depends on how much you want to get out of it. And also, I think that would be, that's going to be like weird. It's like having your sister come teach you, want to do something.
Yeah. Well, don't you think you would feel like more safe and comfortable teaching with me in the room? Don't you think?
I honestly don't know. Like, this is the first time I'm teaching it. I'm teaching it with a new partner who is great, but we don't know each other very well. It is built a little bit differently than what you and I do, in the sense that there's not a lot of opportunity for us to, we don't teach together. Like we each teach segments.
Yeah.
So like she'll teach a segment and I won't actually be very much of a part of that. And then I'll teach a segment and she won't be very much. I think we can always chime in, but you and I are so used to like finishing each other's sandwiches that it's kind of weird, right? Like, so I'm going to have to actually dial it down a notch, because I'm going to want to go, well, but remember, and also this.
Do not interrupt another woman. They won't get it. They won't get it.
I know.
By the way, Ellie wanted to let you know that you are still interrupting me and that it bothers her. She was like, will you?
She doesn't have to listen to the podcast.
She also told me that it was an accident, that she accidentally listened to the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here's what I want to talk about. We have been getting some emails, and I thought this one was particularly interesting.
I'm not going to interrupt at all.
No, you don't interrupt.
I'm not going to interrupt you one more time.
It's not a thing. Especially if you interrupt with a grovelly voice. Please clear it. It's going to drive me nuts. Right now. Okay, we got an email and permission to talk about this email in particular. And rather than kind of reading it out loud, I think we should just give a little bit of a summary. So it's a gal. She's married. She's been married for 10 years, 8 years married. They have like a young child at home, maybe about a year old. And they have been trying a separation in their home, which I think some couples do that. They call it a separation. And it hasn't necessarily been going well. It sounds like she wants to make amends. She wants things to be better in the relationship. But there's been a few things that have come up in the relationship that she's been noticing with him. And yes, I think we should talk about separation and how the separation isn't going well. But I also would like to talk about some of the things that she's experiencing. Okay. Because I want to get your take on this. First of all, she said that she noticed with him some almost like, she came across some messages between him and his ex-girlfriend. And she actually saw them. She read them. This is something in my past, by the way. I don't know if I've ever told you this. When Ryan and I were engaged, I was such a weirdo, man. Not a weirdo. I don't want to label it, but I was very insecure. And I figured out how to get into his inbox and read his emails. Like I knew his password. And I don't remember if it was just because it was saved on the computer, and it was a long time ago. I was about 21 years old, but I came across his inbox and I read emails from my husband to his ex-girlfriend. And they were very intimate, and it was very much so. I mean, he didn't talk about me, but it was a reconnecting of the two of them. And interestingly, the whole thing, since this is coming off of the heels of making amends, this came off the heels of her reaching out to him to make amends through her 12-step program. And so they reconnected, and that was a continued conversation, but he was keeping it secret. And so I read the messages, kind of similar to this gal, in which she read the messages between this guy and his ex-girlfriend. She approached him about it, and he denied it. And so then that started off a kind of a cascade of
Ryan
distrust.
denied it, or the dude in the email?
Oh, of course, Ryan denied it at first, and then the guy in the email also denied it.
All right, so we're back to the email now.
Back to the email. So he denied it. So they had a breach of trust. And they have been kind of working through it, and some time has passed. Now they're separated, and she has started to notice again that he has some secretive behavior around his phone. What do you think is going on when something is happening and you notice that your partner might be changing the password on their cell phone? Maybe they are constantly holding their phone where you can't see the screen. They pick up their phone anytime they leave the room. What do you think is going on?
What do I think is going on?
Yeah.
Well,
what's your gut tell you?
My gut tells me that it's worse than she thinks.
Oh boy.
Is my gut. Like,
what
as
do you
an
think
addict,
she thinks?
like as an addict, me,
yeah.
100% I downplayed all of my sketchy behavior. So if I was, and we know this too, like even if you think about like when we do intake interviews and we ask people specifically about how much they drink, they're never telling the truth. If they say I drink 2 nights a week and I have 2 beers, that it's 4 nights a week and they have 6 beers.
Right.
Yeah. So my gut, and I don't know this guy, I don't know this story, I haven't like really drilled into this email, but my gut is that if there are signals of distressing behavior or concerning behavior, it is probably worse than you think. People who get caught sort of universally say, well, it was the one time, or this is the only time, or, but most of us addicts and secret keepers are very practiced and good at protecting our secrets. And so the idea that somehow the one time or the one piece of data that you have or the many pieces of data that you have is the total story doesn't seem likely to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you actually used the word addicts and then you said secret keepers, because I was like, oh, okay. That I can align with. I don't know necessarily if it's worse than what she can imagine, because for someone who
I think I said worse than what she thinks.
Worse than what she thinks. Maybe she thinks he's talking to other people.
I just realized, like, when I just said that, when I clarified myself, I don't really feel like that strongly about that differentiation. But here's the other caveat I'll make, though, is, and let's take Ryan, for example.
Yeah.
His secret keeping might have been like really good-hearted.
Yes,
really, like,
I'm sure it was.
Like really trying to protect you and honor her.
Yep.
And just kind of hope that it passed in a way that wasn't, you know what I mean? So I don't want to judge the reason people are keeping secrets or the motivation behind it. I just think that there's probably more than meets the eye here, is probably what I was trying to say. Yeah.
I generally tell people that if you have a gut instinct, I think you should trust your gut. I really do. I think.
What is it called? Trust but verify?
I don't know. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, that's
if she's seeing that her partner is doing strange behaviors that maybe she has seen before, or she's just noticing it more and she's getting a weird feeling, like, like when you see your partner and they're on their phone and they could be texting their mom or sending an email to your kid's school, or they also could be checking their secret Tinder account. But if you're getting a weird gut instinct, I always tell people, like, okay, trust your gut. Ask your partner. Say, I'm making a lot of stories up here, and I would love to know, whether or not this story is accurate. So she said that she confronted him, and he said, this is just one part of my life that I like to keep secret and private for myself because I have lost myself in the relationship. And part of that, I would say, okay, like, let's acknowledge that you feel like you've lost yourself in the relationship. And if you want to make me feel better, I think it would be helpful to show me that there is nothing fishy going on here. I think that that's a fair enough thing, because I could see a relationship getting into stalemate where she said, I have a weird feeling. I feel like you're being distrustful and that there's something fishy going on. And if he was to say, I don't owe you anything, my phone is my phone and it's private, I would say that is not going to help the relationship. If you really want to make things better, then show your phone to your partner.
Yeah, but I'll back up one step, which is for her to go, hey, man, like, I don't know what this is about. I don't know where it's coming from. It might even predate you, might have nothing to do with you, but I'm feeling really insecure. And I wonder if you could help me out.
Yeah.
Not even load it with like the evidence and demanding proof. Just say, help me have a different story about this. And if he goes, no, I'm not going to help you with a different story, it's none of your business. Okay, well, I guess I'll keep my story then.
Yeah.
And that's worth like following through on.
Yeah.
Or what is it called? It's called leverage. It's worth creating leverage around. Like if well, this is a totally different topic, I guess. But, if you ask people for change and they don't change, they're not gonna change unless there's consequences, And so this is the whole notion of leverage.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what we're really talking about. This was a little bit of like the distraction in the real story, which is that this couple is a family with a child in the home, and they have decided that they're going to separate and they are in the same home, which I understand is for a lot of people
sometimes
the only option.
Yeah.
And they're sleeping in the same bed together still, and at times are still being intimate, which is quite confusing. And so I guess I want to talk a little bit about this whole idea of this separation that they are in, and just talk about it, bat it around a little bit.
Yeah. Well, this is a hard one. I mean, again, I don't want to like get too deep in the woods into like this personal story, but I will say that when I am talking to couples about separation, it's a whole different kind of conversation, because I think people have some carried ideas about what a separation is. The one I hear the most often is separation is just the inevitable step toward a divorce.
Right.
Which I actually don't think it has to be.
No.
I think separation can actually be really healing. I think, you can pull away from a thing that's problematic, get yourself some space for healing, maybe reestablish the contract or reestablish the norms in the relationship, and then come back together. The problem with this separation, that as I read it in this email, is that there's no plan.
Right.
There's no real boundaries. So what I mean by that is if they said, hey, we are separating for 60 days. Over those 60 days, because we can't afford to live in different houses, we're going to stay in the same house, but we're going to sleep in separate places. We're going to have really clear accountabilities when it comes to childcare. We're going to only eat dinner together on Sundays. We're going to engage in couples therapy or individual therapy. We're going to, like, whatever the boundaries are. And I just rattled some off. I don't think all of those are the right ones. I just think that you ought to have them so that at the end of 60 days, you can come back together and go, okay, we've reset the system. We've did it. But if there are no boundaries, then practically there's no separation. If I'm still have access to your phone, still have access to your car, still am debating whether or not we're parenting, if we're co-parenting in the same space, if we're sleeping in the same bed and sleeping together, like the separation isn't clear enough to be effective. Yeah. It's just a reason to not work on connection or work on repair.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first thing that popped into my mind. There are actual separation agreements that you can go through where it's not a legal separation, but it is an emotional separation for the two of you that can walk you through what are the types of questions that we need to have and have answered so that we can establish really clear boundaries and guidelines in this new way in which we're going to interact with one another. And it could involve, the pickup service. I guess I go back to, though, before you even start with boundaries, is what is the purpose of this entire separation? And for some people, it is, I need space from you because I am so angry and I am so activated all of the time that I just need to not be on the hook of being in this relationship. For other people, the separation is a time for them to do better, to be able to focus on self and say, I can't be on the hook for being in a relationship right now. I really just need to be focused on myself, making myself a better version. So I would say start with what is the purpose, and that will help you to then formulate the outlines of what does the boundary look like.
If the purpose is to decide whether or not to stay married, then you ought to have some roadmap for how that decision is going to be made. If the purpose is healing, you ought to have some roadmap for how that's going to happen. You know, like, I think, people who go away and they just need to clear their head. Listen, some people have this kind of separation, which is they go to rehab. Yeah. They go to rehab for 60 days or whatever, and that's a separation. The purpose of that separation, though, is one of them is getting sober and establishing a new sort of hope for their dependency issue. The other one is trying to get sane outside of the context of their daily chaos. And then they come back together and they have to renegotiate terms, right? They have to renegotiate, like, what is their new relationship going to be? That takes a while. But at least it's clear, right? Like, that's not a separation in traditional terms, but it is a separation. And for some people it's, I need to go away and decide whether or not, sometimes, to be honest, the separation includes, we're going to date other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it includes, we're going to move kids back and forth to different houses. Sometimes it includes nesting, where the kids stay there and the parents, the kids stay there and the parents take turns. But I think you're right. It ought to have some kind of purpose.
Right.
And both partners should know what it is.
Yeah. It is.
And what the rules are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole idea behind a separation for so many people is, there's a lot of pain here and we just need to be able to stop the pain. Like like you described this idea of like pulling the ripcord, when you are parachuting and it's like you're in chaos, you're free falling, there's nothing that you're doing that is like, you just need to figure out a way out of the pain. And it's just a way of being able to pull the ripcord. For a lot of people, that's where they say, we just need to separate. Like, enough is enough. The pain has gotten to the point where we need to just find a way to stop it. And I think for many, they don't know how to stop it, but they know that they can't do it together. So they just are trying to figure out how to get out of the pain as quick as possible. And I would say, 30 days, 60 days, not talking to each other, creating a little bit of space, allowing you to find some kind of peace in the chaos, it can do wonders for relationships, come back more clear-headed and open-hearted.
It can, again, if you have some kind of agreement about it. The other question, of course, is what are the added resources that you need to bring to the table? Like, is it therapy? Is it a family dinner night? Sometimes it includes this notion of whether you should date other people or sleep with other people, because we create these little mysteries in our head about whether or not I'd be happier with somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
And, while I don't recommend this as a strategy, sometimes you do have to kind of test it out a little bit and go realize holy cow, no, I don't want to be in the dating scene again, or I don't want to do this, or maybe there is an old girlfriend or something that you need to kind of clear the slate with. I don't want to judge any of that, but if something is in the way of you being able to invest in secure attachment with your partner, why don't you take an opportunity to clear that? And I think that just goes better if you have some agreement about it.
It is really an interesting idea, I will say, with all of the couples that I have talked to, where they share children and they are discussing a separation. I have said, whatever you do, dating is not on the table. Not yet, when they're in the discernment phase. Just because there is a lot that can confuse everything. However, I will say, let's just say hypothetically, this guy is on Tinder. He has a secret Tinder profile. He's checking out what's out there. And it would be an interesting exercise in an agreement of the separation to say, you know what? Go date. Go meet those people, because right now what you're seeing on your screen is a fantasy. But if you want to go ahead and sit across from this 25-year-old and have a conversation with them, I guarantee it's not going to be as good as me. It would be a really interesting, exercise to say, take whatever you're in this fantasy world with and play it out and see if that's what you would like to do and end this relationship.
There's a comedian that I love. His name is Tommy Johnigan, and he has this one joke.
His name's Tommy John. I wonder how many Tommy John.
Tommy Johnigan.
Johnigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has this one joke where he goes, talking to 25-year-olds, or not 25, I think it's 22, but he goes, talking to 22-year-olds is kind of like talking to a baby, except babies don't have dumb ideas yet. Okay, so let's get real about this email though. This guy,
he wants out.
In the email that she has written, is giving her very explicit, clear signals that he is not interested in the relationship.
Yes.
Now he might be out of his mind. I don't know, and she might be lying, but he is saying, I don't want to do this.
Right.
I don't like this. I don't want to repeat the patterns of my parents.
Yeah.
And so, it's not a lot she can do. If he's out, he's out. what I would wonder about, particularly if they were in my office, is I would look at him and I would say, hey, do you want help understanding the chaos that's up inside your brain? Do you want help sorting through a lot of these like competing ideas that you have about and around what it means to be in a marriage with a young kid? And like, do you want help with that? And he might say no.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he's either really confused and chaotic, or he might be really clear in his head and just not courageous enough or confident enough to say what he wants and then act on it.
Yeah.
So he's got to create little systems with his phone and his car and his, he's got to, protect what he can in the small ways that he can gain some measure of control.
If you were in her shoes, like right now, he's living, let's just say hypothetically, he's talking to other people. He's entertaining the idea of not only leaving the relationship, but starting a relationship with somebody else. And would it make sense in this idea to say you can't have both? Like, if you would like to be in this relationship, that means committing to me, not talking to other people, being engaged in making this relationship better. This is part of what is the purpose of a separation. And for some people, it is, I want to be able to separate or try on maybe a different version of life without doing what we've always done. And that's the hard part, is that this couple, if he's wanting a separation and yet they're still sleeping in the same bed, they're still having family dinner together, she's still, like packing his lunch for work or whatever it might be, she's still showing up in a lot of the ways. I think that the idea of a separation is it needs to be completely different to be able to get a very clear picture of what would it be like to be a single dad living in an apartment, having 1 day with my kid and 3 days without my kid. What would that feel like? What does it feel like to to eat alone and not have a meal with another person and engaged in adult conversation, and to come home to an empty home? That, I think, is what separation needs to feel like, is like, give yourself an idea of what does it feel to be untangled from another human being that you have completely enmeshed your life with. And these two have not done that. So I think that's what I would be really clear on.
Yeah.
It's very confusing for the two of them, especially if they're still sexually, attached to each other.
Well, I mean, it's like,
sex.
I mean, again, there's a little bit of having your cake and eating it too here, for both of them, to be honest. Like, and that may be, again, a product of their financial situation. They cannot afford to live in two different places or something, or they just don't have a solution that includes, some of this really clear boundaries. But the thing that's missing, and I don't know, again, I don't know this guy, but the thing that's missing in the story is his leadership. Like, if he really wants to model, like, it's somewhere tucked in that email is like, I don't want to model this for my kid.
Right.
If he wants to model something that looks like health for his kid, he needs to step up as a leader and say, babe, this isn't working. This is what I want to do about it. This is what it's going to take. By the way, I will make some sacrifices. Yes, we should stop sleeping together. Yes, we should stop, we should make some really clear decisions about, go ahead and commit to not being in the relationship.
Yeah.
Again, we're trying to do two things at once, where we're addressing a listener's email and also trying to think about principles and practices.
Yeah.
But I think people ought to lead. I think they ought to lead in their relationships in a way that reflects their integrity, not just react to my pain, react to my libido, react to my, boredom. I think they ought to lead. And that's sort of missing from this story right here.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I'm just thinking about this whole like pursuer distancer, where clearly like she wants to be in the relationship, she wants to do better, and she's pursuing him. And he's giving a lot of these sort of red flags of, I'm not only am I sort of not here and not interested, but I also might be, giving my time and attention elsewhere. And maybe he's just gambling on his phone, just gambling, right? Maybe it's not another person, but he's definitely turning toward something else. But I do like the notion of, if your complaint is, we can't do this conflict in front of our kids and I'm not going to repeat the cycle, then what is he going to do about it, of making sure that he's not repeating conflict with his child, which is what often happens, right? Like, if you're yelling at your spouse, wouldn't you yell at your kid? It would be a good enough thing to be able to say, when I get frustrated with you, when we don't see eye to eye, when I feel unheard, this is the way I respond to my intimate partner. But I kind of feel like people respond to all human beings like that.
Sure. Yeah.
If you're a yeller with your partner.
How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Sure. I would suspect he would yell with his kid. So if you're not going to put the time and energy into the relationship in order to do conflict better, at least put the time and energy in with your kid to do conflict better. See somebody to be able to learn how to self-soothe. See somebody to learn how to communicate more effectively, clearer, more gently, whatever.
Well, again, tucked in this email is this idea of, I don't want to argue in front of our kid because my parents argued in front of me. And I think that's not the best target necessarily. Like, the target is, because we argue and because my parents didn't repair in front of me, I want to show my kid what repair looks like, because, you know what I mean? Like, that's a different angle on it, because you're not going to rewire your entire personality by avoiding something,
Yeah. All right, well, let's land this plane. I do think it's interesting. I went on the lookout through Reddit where I was going to pull some information, some stories to kind of talk about, bat around, but we get some good juicy ones. So if you want to send us, your situation, just be clear on how vague we need to be about your story. We'll bat around the idea. We love getting ideas that we can talk about. Otherwise, a lot of the stuff that we work on with our couples, we try and keep very, very private. All right, let's land. Okay. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. Happy birthday.
Toodaloo. Happy birthday. All right, happy 7 years to Zach and I. Balloons, popping non-alcoholic beverages. We're celebrating over here. Thanks for all of your time and attention, making your relationship better today than it was yesterday.